I am back with a video. Long time no video, I know. It's been a little bit, of a transition, like I said in my upcoming changes video last month. I wasn't sure how things would go, with a newborn. It's been wonderful. It's all consuming. And I've just been prioritizing this really special time, and just all of my focus has been on baby. And it's just been what I've wanted to do. But I do also want to continue sharing with you, and I'm going to try to bring back my posting in some sort of a regular way. I just don't know how often it will be or how much, but I'd like to stay sharing with you guys, because you guys have been just so incredibly supportive, and I just so enjoy it. So today I thought I'd share my 1 month postpartum update. I've gotten lots of requests to do a bit, talk a bit about my experience recovering from a C-section as a new mommy with a newborn, all of that jazz. So I actually reached out on Facebook and asked if you guys had questions. So I have questions from you guys I'm going to answer. I'm not going to hold up baby because she's asleep, and I want her to stay sleeping in her nice little thing here. She's in her Snugga puppy. We have two of these. We have a Snugga puppy and a Snugga bunny because they are thebomb.com. I think I'll probably do my newborn essentials, either just a blog post or maybe a blog post, probably just a blog post, or maybe a blog post and a video, I don't know. After we've gotten out of the newborn phase. I don't know technically how long they're newborns for. Is it like 6 to 8 weeks or 3 to 4 months? I feel like I'll have a really good sense of everything at the 3 to 4 month mark. So I'll probably do share more about those things then. And I'm also going to do, I think just a blog post on my postpartum essentials. Things that just for me. So I'm going to do one on just things for baby, and then things just for me that I have found really helpful and useful. So I don't know when that'll be up either. So I'll just let you guys know on my social media when those things go up. But I thought I would I'm going to take my phone right now. I thought I'd do a little live clip-in video so you guys can see what she looks like. She's a month old today. Here she is, sleeping in her Snugga puppy. Look at my sweet girl. You can see she's definitely bigger than when you last saw her at our labor and delivery story. How sweet is she? We went to the pediatrician for her 1 month checkup just earlier this week. So when Charlotte was born, she weighed 6 pounds, 6 ounces and measured in at 20 inches. She now weighs 8 pounds, 8 ounces at 1 month old and is measuring in at 22¼ inches long. So she's actually in the 90 to 95th percentile for height, and she's in the 25th to 50th percentile for weight. So she is a long, lean baby machine. And actually, she definitely still fits in her width and in her arms in the newborn size, which she's been wearing for the past 4 weeks. Well, 3 weeks. She wore the stuff the hospital provided for the week we were at the hospital. And I'll throw in a link to our labor and delivery story. No labor, just my delivery story video. I had a C-section if you missed that. It wasn't planned, but I needed to have one because of low amniotic fluid levels, and she was in a frank breech position. Anyway, I'll throw in a link to that video if you guys want to hear all about it. I'll go through great detail on that whole experience. It was a really wonderful experience. Wasn't what I expected, but it ended up working out, and everybody's healthy, and that makes me happy. Anyway, she is definitely growing like a champ. So she's kind of maxing out on length in the newborn stuff. If she wasn't this long, she'd definitely be in it at least a few more weeks. But I feel like I had the right amount of clothing for her in the newborn size, and we're probably in the next week or so going to start transitioning into the 3 month size. It depends on the stores. Like the Gap brand, she still fits in the newborn size, which is their up to 7 pound size, and she's still obviously over 7 pounds. But the length is longer. It's the Carter's things that are a little bit shorter. But she still definitely can wear the Carter's bodysuits, the onesies, and the pants and stuff for a while. It's just the sleepers with the feet that she's kind of growing out of in length. But anyway, that's her stats. She's doing really, really well. I'm very, very pleased with how she is growing and developing. She can lift her head up. She's getting very strong in the neck. We do tummy time with her, you know, for a few minutes, a couple times a day, and she can move her neck around like it's no one's business. So she's doing really well in development. She makes eye contact. You know, she recognizes sounds. She knows when I'm talking or I'm singing to her. She has had, you know, that typical newborn gassiness, which I believe all newborns struggle with digestion for the first, I don't know, 6 to 8 weeks. It's when it peaks, I think. So she gets kind of gassy in the evenings. But otherwise, she's a very, very happy baby, sleeps really well, and I'm really, really pleased with her. Her growth and her development. And I'm absolutely so in love with her. She is just such a doll. Of course, I think my child is beautiful. So please excuse me if I wax poetic about how beautiful I think she is, but she really is a beautiful, beautiful baby. Again, probably completely biased there, but I just think she's absolutely gorgeous. And I just enjoy her so much. Holding her and loving on her and feeding her and all of that. I mean, even though that's been a real challenge, and I'll talk about breastfeeding. I think I'm going to do a whole breastfeeding story later on down the line, maybe after a few months or something. I'll touch on it briefly a little bit later in this video, but even though that's been a bit tough, it's been just a joy to be able to nourish her and nurture her and watch her grow every day. Every day she's a little bit bigger, and it's just incredible. So as for your questions, I have them on my phone, so I'm just gonna kind of go through them. Hopefully baby stays sleeping. Oh, wait, don't wake up. It's okay if she wakes up, but she just had a big meal, so I think we should be okay. Yeah, she's got her party hand up. I didn't swaddle her up because I just wanted to not disturb her, but sometimes, you know, when you don't swaddle the newborns, they can startle themselves awake, but she really loves the Snug-a-Puppy. I mean, that is definitely going to be in my essentials, this Fisher-Price thing. Snug-a-Bunny is the same thing. It's just like a different animal. Like I said, we have one on the upper level and our main level of our house because they are essential. And they're only like $50 on Amazon. So, I mean, you know, still $50, but it's $50 well spent. Anyway, okay, so I went over the baby stats. I was asked what my new daily schedule is like. And honestly, my experience with a newborn is I do not have a schedule whatsoever. My schedule, or whatever, my days are completely revolve around her needs. So it's mainly, I spend most of the time either feeding her or holding her. It's just, you know, even if you're only breastfeeding for maybe 30 to 40 minutes in one go, and she is a long breastfeeder. She is not quick yet. Apparently when they get older, they get a little more efficient, but she's definitely a slow eater. And I've just kind of had, you know, come to terms with that. So even if with a 30 to 40 minute feeding, it takes at least an hour because I'm burping her in between sides. I'm kind of giving her a tummy massage, you know, I'm giving her a break. Feeding is very time consuming. It's a joy. It's just, it takes a long time, and I gotta change her and, you know, kind of rock her back to sleep and stuff and all of that. So most of my time is spent, like I said, either feeding or holding her. I really, when she's sleeping and she's not like in my arms, when she's either with her daddy or in, you know, one of her little snugga-whatevers here, that's when I'll grab a few minutes to get a few things done, or I've just been working kind of piecemeal on blog posts and things. I know it doesn't look like I've done anything, but I have been working just every, you know, 10 to 15 minutes I can grab. I'll like start writing down ideas or pulling links or, you know, working on a collage or editing photo, just a little bit at a time. So I kind of grab moments as I can. I also have other things in my life that I have to pay attention to. So family things that I have to, you know, work on, things that we're planning for this year. So it's just whenever I can grab a moment, I grab a moment. And I kind of just take what I get, but I don't mind right now. I know that she develops and her digestion gets better and she can go longer between feeds and she doesn't need quite as much, you know, cuddling, although I like the cuddling a lot. I don't mind. You know, then I'll be able to establish more of an actual routine. but we're just not at that point yet. I was asked what surprised me most about motherhood so far. Honestly, I have to say I don't feel that surprised as of yet. I feel like the surprises will come later on, when she's developing more. I really I try not to think about it too much in advance. I was really excited about being a mommy, but I didn't like dwell on, oh, it's going to be this way or it's going to be that way. And I really kind of didn't read a lot of books about the first year of life. I bought some, but after the first like 4 to 5 months of pregnancy, I kind of stopped doing a lot of research and stuff and just decided to kind of go with the flow, and just kind of live in the moment and let her show me what she needs and teach me what it means to be a mommy. And so far that's been working out. So I guess the most surprising thing that really, surprising is kind of a strong word, but I mean, just how I'm not like a big crier. Like I've never been a big crier, especially a happy crier. I'm not a happy crier. I've become a happy crier. Like I'll look at her, several times a day and I'll well up a little. Now this is obviously a little bit of a hormonal thing as well, but I feel like it's just also part of being a mommy. It's just so much joy. It's overwhelming, and those emotions have to come out in some expression, and tears are, the best way to kind of to get those emotions out. And the first couple of weeks, like I was happy crying like every day. Not like sobbing, but just like tears of joy. So I guess that's been kind of surprising because I am not a crier. But as for other things, I feel like the big surprises are further down the line, if you know what I mean. But again, no expectations. I'm going to follow her lead, and we're going to learn from each other. I was asked if Don and I have had time just for the two of us, or if we plan on doing that. I think that will come later on. Like I said, we're really not on a schedule right now. We're just trying to kind of ease into this and follow her lead and see what she needs, because as a newborn, that's kind of, that just makes the most sense to us. I think we will try to implement like date night or something, when she's a little older and we have a, good babysitter or something. Because I think it is important to dedicate time specifically to your spouse as a parent. Having a healthy relationship with your spouse makes for a happy and healthy family, because you're really the foundation of the family. And if there's tension between you, and if you're not giving each other what you need from each other individually, not just as parents but as partners, then it's not going to be a happy foundation. So I think that is really important, and we're going to prioritize that, but it's not the time for it right now. We spend a lot of time together in the evenings, just as we always had, hanging out, but now we've got baby girl with us. So yes, I guess would be the answer to that. I was asked a lot if I've had postpartum depression or the baby blues or whatever. I really haven't. I wasn't really worried about it, but as somebody who, with a background with anxiety issues, I knew that I was maybe a little bit more at risk for it. But I haven't. There's been some stressful moments, and there's been some times where I felt overwhelmed, and that's mainly to do with feeding, which I'll talk about in a minute, but it hasn't been depressed, and I haven't been anxious. And when I say stressed, I kind of categorize that different from anxious. Stress to me is temporary. It's related specifically to something, whereas anxiety to me is kind of general. It doesn't necessarily have a direct rhyme or reason to it. You can't really pinpoint a cause all of the time unless you do a lot of work, which I have done over the past few years to like work on it, and that really helps you kind of overcome it in my experience. But no, I really haven't had an issue with that. And I think just staying present and staying in the moment, having a really good partnership, having such good support from Don, when I felt myself feeling overwhelmed, he's stepped in and stepped up, and he's just been amazing. So that's that. As for postpartum cravings, I guess this was a little bit surprising. I didn't have really any appetite at all for the first 2 weeks postpartum, which I guess is a common post C-section thing, or post-op sort of experience. I'm not exactly sure, but that's what I hear. I'm sorry if my hair is a hot mess, you guys. New mommy alert. But I was surprised that I thought, with breastfeeding I'd be ravenous, but I really didn't have any appetites to speak of for the first 2 weeks. And then the last 2 weeks have been definitely a bit hungrier, but I've been really picky, like super, super picky. Like I'll only eat chicken as a protein. I have beef every once in a while, but I still don't want any fish. Like my pregnancy, what are they called? Things you don't want to eat. I'm blanking on the word, but the things that I didn't want to eat during my pregnancy, I still don't want to eat. So basically any fish or seafood, I'm like, bleh. And I've just been really, really picky and not as hungry as I thought I would be. So not sure what that is about, but I have been really into the halos, those little, I think they're either mandarins or clementines, I can never remember, but I'm into those this time of year every year. I eat like 3 or 4 of those every day. And then also I have had a craving. It's been for Rice Krispie treats. Don's been making me Rice Krispie treats because he's a sweetheart. Because that's been like the sweet thing I've wanted. And I have one every day and I'm like, oh, this is the best. So I guess that counts as a craving. Okay, as for the sleeping with having a newborn, that's definitely, that was an adjustment. The first week, I talked about this in our delivery story, I slept for the first 5 nights total. I slept a total of 12 hours. Like there was not a lot of sleeping. And then when I got home, she settled into her kind of what I would call her sleeping kind of, it's hard to pinpoint anything as like a routine right now, but it's kind of what she's been doing since we've been home, is she'll sleep about 2.5 to 3 hour clips at a time at night. During the day, she'll usually nap for maybe about 45 to 60 minutes at a clip, but at night she'll do a little bit longer. And she does cluster feed in the evening, so I think that helps. So I wake up with her 2 times in the night. So I've been getting maybe somewhere about 6 or 7 hours of sleep, but not all at once. I get maybe 2 hours at a time. And I have not been napping because I'm not a napper. I can't sleep during the day, even when I'm exhausted, which is unfortunate because it would be nice to get a little bit more sleep. But, it definitely took me a couple weeks to kind of adjust. Well, really the first week to adjust to sleeping in clumps instead of getting like a good solid 6 to 8 hours, like getting just 2 hours at a time. It's an adjustment, but I'm actually been really pleasantly surprised at my body for adjusting so well to it. Like I don't feel that tired really during the day, even though it's disrupted sleep. And I know as she grows and her stomach grows and she's able to hold more food, so sleep longer, that I'll get more like bigger and bigger clumps at a time, which will be great. But honestly, I think it's been fine. I try to let Don sleep through the night because he's been so super duper helpful to me during the day. He's really hands-on with her, especially in the evenings. He gives me, time to do my some things like get a little work done or get ready for bed and all that stuff. When she's kind of in her fussy hour. So, that's a lot when you have a crying baby. For an hour, that's hard work. So he's been really great with that. And he's been feeding me and, cleaning up and stuff and doing really, really great. So I've been trying to let him sleep through the night because she just needs me in the night to feed her. And then, and change her. And then I try to get her to go back to sleep. So I've been happy that he's been able to sleep through the night for the most part. There's been a couple of times where I've needed him, and he's been always happy to get up. But it brings me a lot of joy to know that he's slept well. I don't know. I'm like living vicariously through his sleep. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, breastfeeding experience. Like I said, I'm gonna do a whole my breastfeeding story because I feel like I was least prepared for this, and I knew I was least prepared for it. I think I talked about in some of my my pregnancy updates that I really wasn't nervous about labor and delivery. Like I had no fears about that going into it, but I was worried about feeding, and I really, really wanted to breastfeed my baby, but I didn't know how it would go. And my biggest fear is that it wouldn't work out. So it's, obviously I'm exclusively breastfeeding. She's obviously growing. She has never had formula. She's never had a bottle. I haven't started pumping yet. I'm waiting until my nipples are healed to pump, and then maybe just have a bottle for those moments where it'd be convenient, but not necessarily on a schedule. Since I work from home, I can feed her, and I really do like the experience of feeding her. It's just been incredibly painful. We've had problems with our latch from the start. She was really teeny tiny when she was born, and my breasts have gotten huge. Okay, I'm gonna give you a little reference here. Before I became pregnant, I was a 32D. At the end of my pregnancy, I was 36D. Yeah, I think so. And now I'm a 32H. Let's think about that. I went from a 32D to a 32H. That's cray. I have a feeling I'm a little bit engorged at the moment still, even 4 weeks in. We're still kind of trying to, with my doctor and I, we're still trying to figure out what's going on. I've been having a lot of breast tenderness, a lot of like kind of burning sensations. We don't know if it's some sort of infection. We're still kind of figuring that out. But the latch has been the hardest thing, and it's still not down. I did have a lactation consultant come to the house the first week we were home because I was having so much trouble and having so much nipple pain. They were so cracked. They were even, more than cracked. They were actually like injured, but I was, persevering anyway, because I just like really want to breastfeed this child. And I knew I was producing enough milk because I could see her growing. So that has not been an issue, thank goodness. But the lactation consultant, who was great, a nurse, she found out that she was able to see, Charlotte doesn't have any issues in her mouth, like with a tongue tie or anything like that, but she has a very high palate, and I have extremely big boobs. So I think there's just a matter of mechanics. Like it's just, when she's bigger, maybe it'll just go better, but she's still pretty small at 8.5 pounds. That's still a pretty small human. So I just think it's just gonna take some time. It's a little bit better, but it's still extremely painful every time she latches on. Now the nipple pain doesn't persist through the feeding. It's really just for the first minute of the feeding, but my nipples burn all the time when I'm not feeding, and I've been having other breast pain as well. So hopefully that will all get sorted out with time. She's only 4 weeks old, so it's gonna take, it's gonna be a little bit longer. And once my nipples are healed, hopefully that will just go better. But I still am so, it's hard to enjoy something when it causes you pain, but I still enjoy it because I know I know it's good for her, and it feels good to me, like the physical act of holding her and nourishing her in that way. So yeah, I'll talk way more about my breastfeeding journey down the line. Just a few more things. C-section recovery. Yeah. C-section is a major surgery. Like, it's no joke. I have a 6-inch incision, and it's right above my pubic bone, basically. So it's pretty low, which I was surprised at. I'm pleasantly surprised because I'm glad that it's that low, because any two-piece I wear will cover that. And I'm not really worried about having a scar. Like, that's just not something I really care about physically. But my surgery went super well. My OB, even when I was on the operating table, is complimenting me on my cutaneous layers or something. She's like, "You have really nice skin and tissue." I'm like, okay, that's an interesting compliment to get, but it's a good thing because I've been healing really well. The only really painful part of recovery was the first few days. Unfortunately, I was in the hospital and I was on painkillers. So that helped a lot with that. The first night was the roughest, and then they adjusted my medication and I was fine. By the time we got home, I was feeling, maybe my pain level was at maybe a 2 or 3 on a daily basis, which is nothing at all to write home about. And I was off the painkillers by the time we got home, and I went off Advil just a few days later. So I've been medication free for the last few weeks, and I've been absolutely fine. It's definitely, you have to be careful. I definitely notice the sensation down there of pulling sometimes, but it's not painful. I haven't had any issues with like the wound weeping or anything. It's healing great. So I'm not worried about it at all. And really, it hasn't slowed me down that much. The first couple weeks, yes, it did. I had to take it easy because I was bleeding a lot. Even when you don't have a vaginal birth, you bleed through your vagina. Like your uterus cramping down, and it's getting rid of all the stuff in there, and it's just stuff comes out of you, regardless of what kind of delivery you have had. And I still have to wear a like liner every day, but it's nothing like it was the first couple weeks. I was bleeding heavily. I was wearing those really thick maxi pads, and then after that it dwindled pretty quickly, and now it's just maybe a little spotting every day, depending on how much I do. The more I do, the more I spot. I definitely notice that. But like I said, it's not a lot. Stretch. Oh, you're so cute. Oh, those little hands are gonna wake you up. Oh, are they gonna wake you up? You're so cute. If you hear a buzzing noise too, this thing has like a vibrator built into it, a vibrating part, so she likes that though. Yeah, she does. Okay. So anyway, I really couldn't do much the first week I was at the hospital. I really wasn't doing much, but then the first week we were home, I just was encouraged to be really low key. My doctor said not to do more than 2 flights of stairs a day. Now, I wanted to be able to do laundry and things like that, so I kind of stretched that a bit, and I was able to do I've been doing like a load of laundry every day. Now that I'm feeling better, I maybe can do a couple loads of laundry every day. There's a lot of laundry going on around here. Don's been great with cooking and stuff, so I didn't want him to have to do the laundry, and I'm pretty particular about laundry anyway. Our laundry room is way down in the basement, so it's 2 flights just to get down there, but I've been able to do it. I just had to take it slow and amp up slowly, but now I go up and down the stairs, a dozen or more times a day. I'm not running up and down the stairs, but I'm doing great. I saw my doctor last week, and she said when I'm feeling up to it, I can do 20-minute walks with my dog outside as long as I take it easy, and I can't go as fast as I could, but I can walk her. Don's been great. He's been helping a lot with Winnie as well, walking her. I've been able to lift Winnie. Winnie weighs 12 pounds. I've been able to lift her no problem. I lift her up into the bed every day. I lift her up onto the grooming table. I do still groom Winnie. I've been probably grooming her about every other day. Sometimes every day, but every other day. It depends on how much time I have. Like I said, because we haven't settled into a routine yet, but I have no qualms about being able to keep up with her grooming routine. Do you hear the little baby grunts? As we settle into things, especially since I've been able to do it basically since we've been home. Winnie came home the day after we came home from the hospital. So I've been able to keep up with her just fine. Oh boy. Okay, I'll try to finish. This is a super long video anyway. I have so much to say, you guys. I haven't talked to you for so long. I'm sorry. What else about C-section recovery? Oh, the other thing I've noticed is still very numb, like to the touch around the incision area, kind of in a radius around it. And I hear that's the last thing to come back. It doesn't bother me. It's just kind of weird. So some people it takes years. Some people the feeling never comes back. I'm really not concerned about it. That's just the only thing I didn't really know about C-sections, that it's just okay, well, that's still numb. As far as my postpartum body, let's see, I weighed myself the day that I delivered, the morning I delivered. At 38 weeks pregnant, I had gained a total of 32 pounds as of that day. The day of delivery was the day after I turned 38 weeks pregnant. So I gained 32 pounds total for the entirety of the pregnancy. I weighed myself when I got home from the hospital, and I had already lost 16 pounds just in that first week from not doing basically anything. That was just all baby, basically. So I lost half the weight right away. And then now at 4 weeks post, I weighed myself on Monday, so when I was exactly 4 weeks postpartum, and I was down, down 21 pounds. So I have 11 left. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the baby and I'm trying to do math at the same time. And like I said, I really haven't been able to do much. So I've got 11 pounds left. I know that's all kind of basically, there's just a little bit of tummy left. Actually, that's been kind of surprising too, how small my stomach has gotten so fast. It's basically almost back down to its normal size. It's just got a little bit of a pooch kind of, but I haven't been doing anything, like I said, other than taking care of this child. So that's been a pleasant surprise. And honestly, I don't have an agenda. I'm not worried about getting back in shape or anything. Ideally, I'd like to get back into running and back into fitness and my cross training and yoga and all of that. But I'm really not clear to do any of that until after my 6-week checkup with the doctor, and then we'll see what she says. But I have a feeling I'm gonna get clearance after that appointment because I've been healing really well, and I just made sure to keep up with my fitness throughout my pregnancy, and I think that really helped my body be able to bounce back so quickly. So yeah, I've got 11 pounds to lose still, but honestly not worried about it. Most of it's probably on my thighs and my tush. Those are like the fat reserves that I stored up during my pregnancy for breastfeeding. Just your body does that naturally. And that's where I tend to gain weight anyway. That's like my baby weight gain, you know what I mean? So hopefully that'll come off at some point, but I'm not concerned. And I think that's about everything. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to share with you at this time. I'm not sure. If you guys want to see another postpartum video down the line or updates about Cece maybe on a monthly basis, I could do like a combined video like this, and hopefully it won't be quite as long. I'd be happy to do that. I don't know if there's interest in that. I feel like I asked at the end of my pregnancy and there was quite a bit of interest. Just let me know if you like the kind of topics I covered, if there's maybe certain ones I could cover every time to keep some sort of consistency, kind of like I did with my pregnancy updates. So I could go over Cece's stats, you know, my stats, you know, new things that are happening, experiences, recovery. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about that. And you should check out my social media accounts. I post mainly on Instagram, but that funnels directly to my Facebook and my Twitter pages. And that is where I'm sharing the most about Charlotte in terms of photos. So follow me on any of those places if you'd like to see little snippets of her. I post a few times a week some photos of her. Like I said before in last month, I'm not going to be putting her in a lot of videos, but there's something about photos I feel a little bit more comfortable sharing. It just feels a little bit more controlled, for lack of a better word, but that kind of fits. And I'll probably put some photos of her on my coordinated blog post with updates about her. So you can check that out if you guys want to see her sweet angel face. Anyway, thank you so much for all of your wonderfully warm words of encouragement and support, and your kind congratulations and well wishes. They mean the world to me. It just means so much to me to have so much support from you guys. It's incredible. It's unlike anything to have the support of this community. It's just, for this really special time, it just makes it even more special. And I do so enjoy sharing with you. If you guys have any advice or tips for a new mommy, I love hearing your experiences. Please feel free to share them. And I will see you guys real soon. I hope to have a couple of videos up in the next week for you guys, playing a bit of catch up and some blog posts. I feel like blog posts are a little bit easier for me to handle right now. So I have a couple additional blog posts that I won't be filming videos for, so you can check out. Links to all those things below, my blog and all the social media accounts and all that. So check me out there if you'd like to see more. And I hope you're all well, and I can't believe it's the end of January. Oh, and by the way, it's my birthday. My birthday is 1 month exactly after Cece's birthday, so her 1 month is my birthday. So she's 1 month old today, and I'm 33 today. So I think that's kind of nice, though. Anyway, I hope you guys are all well. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned. Take good care, you guys. Bye-bye.